Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I'm pretty excited for this episode. We just got Lancer in the group, and it looks like we're about to take the fight to Caster. Maybe that won't happen right away, but it's happening soon. It sounded like we were doing it right away though, but just go ahead and hop right in. I'm looking forward to this episode. Last episode was so good. I'm hoping... Yeah, I'd be very happy if this one was as good as that one. Before that, there's just one more conversation. Just as they exit the forest, and when the sky is beginning to lighten up, before they go to the church, she informs him of the fact that she has kept hidden.
今のうちに言っておくけど、シローが返してくれたペンダントね。あれ、一つしかないものなの。
She's just straight up revealing it now. She's not even hiding it. She does not tell him what that means, and he does not inquire about it. It is because such matters are unnecessary when they are about to face their greatest enemy, Caster. The one and only pendant. The one he found in her room and returned to her. The one he found on that night and put into his desk. Now is not the time to ask about the contradiction.
言っておかなくちゃいけないのはそれだけよ。シローが私の部屋で見つけたペンダントって、あーちゃんに返してもらったものなんだ。シローがランサーに刺されたあの日にね。私はてっきりあいつが拾ってきてくれたものだと思ってたけど。
The decisive battle is near. The tall church can be seen in the horizon. Looks like we're jumping right into this. Oh, sheesh. Tosaka says she wants to confirm one last time. Our roles are already set. Lancer will draw Archer and Saber away from Caster. We will use that opening to attack Caster. Lancer asks ironically if we will be able to beat her by ourselves. To that.
まあね。私とキャスターを一対一にしてもらえれば、まず裏をかけると思う。
Dang, not 1-on-2? Tosaka answers with confidence. I don't know what she means by outwitting her. She didn't tell us even when we asked, so it must be a plan that will have a lower success rate if we know about it. That sounds like a put your life on the line type of plan if you won't tell your allies about it. And what I need to do is fulfill Tosaka's demand. With all my might, I will keep Kazuki from protecting Caster. If I need them, I will project his sword as many times as necessary. Close my eyes and dive inside myself. The magic circuit inside of me is stable. Magic beyond one's ability will destroy the caster. Half of my body became numb the first time. It was easy and nothing happened to me the second time. There's no guarantee the third time will be the same, but I don't think it's a problem to project his swords. My body is stable. The magic circuit that was hard even to construct is easily activated now. Like there's a fake nerve behind my real nerves, and they are reversible with the push of a button. I'm trying to convince myself that it's because I've gotten used to it. I can easily prepare the swords. Projection has become my primary weapon. It's a big improvement over 10 days ago. It's not only my magic, my sword technique has improved as well. Yeah, no kidding. Compare this route's Shiro to Fate route Shiro, and you can kind of see the difference. Right, we're not even done with this route, so it could very well get stronger, but... like... just... the strength difference is quite massive. Like, compared to where he would have been at this point, in the Fate route at least. The reason behind it. No, I try not to think about the reason. It's more important to beat Caster and take back Saber. Asking myself stupid questions can come after the battle. The headache gets stronger as I near the church. It's just like when I was looking for Tosaka, but I avoid thinking about that. Here we are, man. You know, I was just wondering. This isn't going to really change anything. What's our relationship looking like in this route? Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to try to metagame based on any of this information, because I don't like doing that. But I guess it makes sense. I mean, is that where Tosaka was at? Like, in the last route? It's probably higher. Probably. Everybody else is really low, though. But again, that makes sense. Saber got kidnapped. Sakura's barely been in this route. And one of the few chances I've had to interact with her, I did not take. And Illya, rip Illya, man. Rest in peace. That was brutal. Her death. Jesus. So it's obvious why we wouldn't get any progress there. The morning light is gray. The sun is blocked off by clouds, obscuring the dawn's brightness. The sky above is gloomy. The sky is more gray than black, and it reminds me of that time 10 years ago. It should rain soon. An impure gray sky. Beneath it stands that man.
君のことだ。必ず来ると思っていた。
Yeah. He stares at her with cool eyes. Osaka doesn't say anything and stares back at him.
それで、用意した策は何だ？何の手立てもなしで勝負を挑む君ではあるまい。
Oh, you're right about that.
ああ、とりあえず、てめえの相手はこの俺だ。
驚いたな。私を失い、数日と経たずに新しいサーバントと契約したか。
I don't think we made a contract, right? I think his master just didn't actually die. Maybe I misinterpreted that. But he made it sound like his master was still alive.
やれやれ。私もそうだが、君の移り気もなかなかのものだ。これは、たもとを分かって正解だったかな。
構わないわ、シロ。あいつの挑発になんか乗らないで。
Yeah, he's trying to make us mad. She stops me, still staring at Archer. But it's obvious looking at her face. She knows he's baiting her, but his words still hurt.
前から気に食わねえ野郎だと思っていたが、てめえ、少年から腐っているようだな。
She actually didn't deny it, so... Did she form a contract with Lancer? I mean, it's possible. I thought it was just that... why can't I remember? Kodamine. I thought Kodamine just lived and just sent him here. Right? Because he knew the situation. But which could very well still be the case, but she didn't deny anything, so I don't know. I guess we'll see.
ほう。裏切りは勘に触るか、ランサー。自分が裏切られたわけでもないのに、律儀なことだ。
別にお嬢ちゃんに肩入れする気はねえよ。単にてめえみたいなサーバントがいるってことが気に食わねえだけだ。
英雄の誇りか。まったく。どいつもこいつも同じようなことばかりを口にする。あのキャスターでさえ、そんなくだらないものを持っていてな。死した身で今さら、何の栄誉を守るというのだ。正直、私には君たちの考えが理解できねえ。
Jeez, man. Knowing that he used to think like the exact same way, right? And he used to be like a lot closer to Shiro, right? You know, in terms of personality. He used to be like a good guy, I guess. And now he's just, I honestly can't understand how you think, right? He used to want to protect people, right? And I mean, I guess technically we never know what his stance on betrayers was, right? Or honor or pride, right? But still just, I don't know. Seems kind of jarring, given what we know of his past.
ああ、しなくていいぜ。考える手間を省いてやる。
Dang, okay, Lancer. There's no more need for words. All that remains is the intent to kill, with Lancer's sharp and Archer's calm. They're about 10 meters apart. Confrontation of the knights in blue and red is just like that night.
Lancer?
Josaka calls out to the blue back.
お前たちは中に行け。こいつをぶっ倒したら俺も行ってやるからよ。
わかってる。けどランサー、アーチャーは。
ああ、手抜いてやる。あいつには土下座して、お前に謝ってもらわなくちゃいけねえからな。
Dang, okay, Lancer. He speaks without turning, grinning at Archer.
ありがとう。助力に来てくれたのがあなたでよかった。
I am too, I'm not gonna lie. We go around the two as we head to the church. The guard, Archer, lets us through unchallenged. No, he has to let us through. Archer's already confronting Lancer. Lancer will pierce him if he lets us distract him. He can either attack us and leave himself open to Lancer, or he can fight Lancer and let us go. If he really is guarding this place, the choice should be obvious. We run around the courtyard and open the door to the church without hesitation. Behind us.
まったく面倒なことになっちまったな。
何がだランサー。
いや何。あんな顔で礼を言われた日には手抜きもできねえ。そういうの困るだろ。おいそれと主を裏切れない身としちゃ少しばかり眩しいってもんだ。
So does that mean they actually might have formed a contract? That's what it looks like. Dang.
随分と甘いのだな、ランサー。君は隣の芝生は青いという言葉を知っているか？
何言ってやがる。なもん、俺が知ってるわけねえだろうが。
There's no way I know such a phrase. Oh man. That's what he had to say there.
悠長にやってる時間はないわ。ランサーがアーチャーと決着をつける前にキャスターを倒すわよ。
分かってる。ここから無駄口はなしだ。それと本当にキャスターを任せていいんだな、トサカ。
ええ、とことんまで追い詰められるだろうけど、それでも手は出さないで。シローはクズキ先生をできるだけ引き離してくれればいい。
I'm worried Saber's gonna come up in the fray, and then we're gonna have some serious problems. We go past the main area and head to the door leading to the courtyard. I won't hesitate if Tosaka says so. But I don't know if it's possible for me to back Tosaka up, even if she's cornered. My opponent is Kazuki. I won't be able to dodge his attacks if I'm paying attention to Tosaka. Yeah. I don't know how involved we can be over there. Caster's presence is getting closer. The church is filled with her magical energy, as she must not be hiding her powers anymore. I bet she already knows about our raid. Most likely.
トレース、オン。
I can't imagine her boundary field is like not gonna pick you guys up. I carefully knit together the illusion using 8 steps. I'm getting the hang of it. His swords are in my hands within a minute. Uh-oh. I feel a light headache. Even though I'm getting used to it, it takes a toll on my body. Projection is damaging my body deeper than I realize. Is it my imagination? I think Tosaka hung her head for a second. Doesn't like seeing him like that. We go down through the darkness. We run down the stairs and come out into an open area. And after that, we jump down into the temple like I did before.
あら、飛び降りてくるなんてまるで猿ね。
Yeah, I guess so.
何を急いでいるのだか知らないけど、人間なんだから階段ぐらいは使いなさい。
But use the stairs. We land in the temple. So it's supposed to be a surprise attack, but Caster greets us with composure. I feel like that means Saber's ready. Or about ready. Zuki Soichiro is standing next to Caster. I don't feel any enmity or bloodlust from him. That's his battle posture. His clear murderous intent is hiding the scariness of the man. In that regard, he's more like an assassin than servant assassin. Oh, he's more like an assassin than servant assassin. Saber is on top of the altar. She's just like she was 2 days ago, still fighting. Please, Saber, come on. Just keep fighting until we somehow win this, alright? I beg of you. Saber hangs there, her head bowed. I'm relieved we made it, but on the other hand, I'm worried about why she's so quiet. I think Saber was in pain before. Oh, maybe that means she hasn't. And she's just waiting to be unleashed, I don't know. I mean, maybe she has to come, I hope not. She was shivering and gasping, resisting Caster's magic with all her might. She's dead silent now. I have a bad feeling. It's great that Assassin's not here, but if this bad feeling comes true, we won't get out of here alive.
来たわよ、キャスター。いろいろ考えたんだけど、やっぱりあなたには消えてもらうことにしたわ。目障りだし邪魔だし煩わしいし、何よりその格好が気に食わないのよね。 今時紫のローブなんてどこの田舎者よって感じでさ。
God dang! That was a relentless assault! Holy crap! What the heck? Like some backwoods hag with that purple robe of yours. That's a fatality. Tosaka insults Caster, hoping to break her composure. She slowly closes the distance between them as she talks, radiating confidence she probably doesn't feel. I shouldn't be concerned about Saber either. Tosaka's facing Caster by going counterclockwise, so I walk clockwise. Caster and Kazuki. If we are to separate them, we have to attack them from different sides and isolate our enemies.
見逃してもらった分際で随分と勘違いをしたようね。今時の魔術師は皆こうイノシシ頭なのかしら。
Dang.
これではアーチャーが見限るのも当然ね。
Hit her where it hurts. Tosaka's insults must have worked, as Caster's glaring at her. I move while she does so. I move to the other side of Tosaka, to a place where I can attack Caster from behind. And therefore Kazuki has to, obviously, go that way. Kazuki watches me in silence. I thought so. There's no way that this man would not notice our trick. Kazuki knows what's going on, that we are trying to isolate our enemies and that Tosaka has some plan. Even with that in mind, he's letting Caster do as she wishes. It's not that Kazuki is controlled by Caster. He's acting of his own free will. But still, his passivity is like that of a puppet. Servants skilled in magic as the backup, and a master skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Their roles are reversed, and I think their natures are reversed as well. Caster seeks the Holy Grail frantically, while the master protects her without question. Yeah, it is kind of like that, huh? Obviously I'd already noticed the combat sense, but for some reason it hadn't clicked to me that it's almost like he's the servant and she's the master. Like in a lot of the ways they act. It makes me think. What if Caster was the master and Kazuki was the servant who protected her? Maybe they wouldn't have fallen so low if that were the case. Tosaka glances at me. It means our positions are perfect. Then, the match will be settled when either one of us attacks. It doesn't matter if we get defeated or if Tosaka beats Caster before that. Our fight will end right here.
それじゃあ始めましょうか。あなたとの小競り合いもこれで3度目。いい加減ここで型をつけてあげる。
Dang, the insults are being hurled today. Tosaka takes a step towards Caster.
大きく出たわね。まさかとは思うけど、本気で私に勝てると思っているの？お嬢さん。だとしたら腕比べどころの話じゃないわ。今回も見逃してあげるから、まずその少年を直してらっしゃいな。
God dang, everybody's like going at each other. Verbally. There's been more verbal assault than physical assault.
そんなの勝てるに決まってるじゃない。だってそうでしょ。あなたみたいな三流魔術師に一流である私が負けるはずないんだもの。
God dang, they just keep coming.
そう。なら仕方がないわ。その増長、厳しくしつける必要があるよね。お嬢さん。
They get ready at the same time. With a few meters between them, they act like mirror images. That's the signal. I attack the defenseless Caster. And are obviously repelled by Kazuki. And of course, I'm stopped by Kazuki. The ghost-like assassin is in front of me. I can't spare any attention for Caster and Tosaka's fight. He knows what I intend to do. He will not let me buy time. Letting out the snake that even cornered Saber, Kazuki Soichiro comes to take my life. I can hold him off for a minute at most. It should be the same for Tosaka, but originally, with our opponents reversed, we had no chance of victory. Close-range fighting or magic, we have no way to beat our opponents who surpass us in skill. But looking at it the other way, we can at least put up a fight. Tosaka would be killed in an instant if she fought Kazuki. I would be killed in an instant if I fought Caster. In contrast, we might not be able to win, but we won't be killed in an instant with this matchup. So in other words, this battle is not about how to beat one's opponent. Instead, this is a contest to see how long we can hold off an opponent of superior skill. So what? You make it sound like there's no chance of victory, and that you're just biding time. But hoping Lancer wins. Oh, okay. Speaking of Lancer. The two weapons clash. Twin swords and lance. The attacks are executed to take their wielders' necks. There's no hesitation in those attacks. Each strike is meant to kill. Even Lancer makes no exceptions. Even though he told Tosaka Rin, his ally, that he would go easy, that becomes secondary once the battle starts. It merely means that if his lance happens to miss Archer's heart and if it does not kill him instantly, he will refrain from finishing Archer off on the spot. Even in that case, his enemy will die in due time, but Lancer just needs to drag him to Tosaka Rin before that happens. Lancer does not care what happens after that. The red demonic lance invades the enemy territory. The lance breaks through Archer's defense each time it is thrust. It's not like that night. Archer cannot block Lancer's attacks now as he could then. It is only natural. This is their second battle. Lancer was under the command spell's bind. To learn his enemy's strengths, his master told Lancer,
お前は全員と戦い。だが倒すな。一度目の相手からは必ず生還しろ。
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm not surprised. I knew he said he was like gathering intel, but I'm not surprised at all. Like that he used a command spell to have him fight everyone and not kill them. Just to find out what they're like. He's followed such an unreasonable command, and this is his first battle without any binds. Therefore, it cannot be like the last battle. There's nothing binding Lancer, and Archer's not forced to fight the fastest heroic spirit. Sheesh. Straining voice escapes Archer's mouth. Even his hawk-like eyes cannot follow Lancer's spear. The lance's movement is a point to start with. And it is a flash of light now. He cannot discern the lance coming at him. Even Lancer's movements are becoming invisible now. He's been able to block such attacks until now because he had experienced them in a previous battle. He's doing what he can, using his inferiority as a weapon to block Lancer's furious onslaught. He's controlling where the attacks come. The Knight in Red limits the oncoming attacks by leaving fatal openings. Of course, he will die if he does not dodge the attacks, but if he can choose between instant death and getting slowly cut up, he prefers to risk instant death. Otherwise, it all will have been for nothing. Fortunately, Lancer is still taking Archer lightly. Or rather, he is lost in the joy of battle. If they are to keep on assaulting each other like this, he can think of another 30 ways to show an opening. Prediction using the information obtained, planning using cultivated battle experience. Those are the nerves of steel, the mind's eye, that one obtains through training. This is nothing extraordinary. This is the only skill he possesses. It is not innate like Saber's instinct, but it is a simple weapon that anyone can gain through hard work. Why does he look so disgusted? God dang. Lancer backs off and stops for a bit. He looks the Red Archer over, as though dissatisfied. It is obvious who is going to win. Archer has no chance of victory in hand-to-hand combat. That has been obvious from the start. Archer is an archer, like his name states. This cannot be a match unless he's shooting from long range. But still, he blocked the attacks. He is inferior and should not last more... He is inferior and should not last a few more blows, but he blocked Lancer's full force attacks. Who is he? Is Archer strong, or is Lancer going easy on him? He laughs. Archer is a mysterious servant. He can admit that Archer is strong in that regard, but it is unthinkable for Lancer to be going easy. The first attack was aimed at the neck to chop his head off. The second attack was aimed at the heart to destroy his body. He cannot be going easy. He shouldn't be, but it is certainly true that he wasn't trying to kill Archer. How does one know that this sort of fight is serious? A battle between servants is a battle between noble phantasms. The fact that he is fighting Archer without using his is proof that he's going easy on him. The reason behind it must be the thanks he heard earlier.
まったく本気か俺は。
Getting sentimental, huh? The weapons clash harder than before. The two spring apart in a shower of sparks. The full force attack by Lancer is nullified by the full force attack by Archer. They're about 5 meters apart. It is a distance Lancer can close in an instant.
下せんな。
The spearman in blue murmurs.
貴様、これだけの腕を持っていながらキャスターについたのか。貴様取りんならば、キャスターになぞ遅れは取るまい。
I wonder if he might be able to convince Archer to explain his reasoning. That'd be nice. Lancer stops emitting murderous intent, but there's no opening in his stance. At that, Archer smiles a bit.
驚いたな。何を言い出すかと思えば、まだそんなことを口にするのか。ランサー、私は少しでも勝算の高い手段を取っただけだ。リンがどう思うと、私はこれ以外の手段はないと判断した。
I mean, I guess. Maybe it is just that simple. He speaks confidently, with no sign of guilt. The knight in red shows no regret about betraying his master.
そうかよ。尋ねた俺がバカだったぜ。
Archer agrees. Lancer snorts and slowly raises the tip of his lance.
確かにお前は戦上手だ。そのお前が取った手段ならば、せいぜいうまく立ち回るだろう。だが、それは王道ではない。貴様の剣には、決定的に誇りが欠けている。
Alright. His fighting spirit roars up. Even faced with this, the archer in red still smiles.
ああ、あいにく誇りなどない身だからな。
Yeah, no kidding.
だが、それがどうした？英雄としての名が汚れる？笑わせないでくれよ、ランサー。汚れなど、成果で洗い流せる。
I mean, I guess in a way you're not completely wrong.
そんな余分なプライドはな、そこいらの犬にでも食わせてしまえ。
In an instant, the slightly relaxed atmosphere changes. The air freezes. The magical energy to disturb the order of the world, the demonic lance that inverts cause and effect, is raised. His murderous intent is incomparable to his previous ones. But the tension must make it difficult even to breathe. You gonna use
犬
it?
と言ったな、アーチャー。
The blue-armored spearman growls in a voice that could drive the crows from a battlefield.
事実だ、空風林。英雄の誇りなぞ持っているのなら、今のうちに捨てておけ。
よく言った。ならば、お前が先に行け。
Lancer jumps back a great distance. It's no longer a matter of thrusting his lance. There are over 100 meters between them now. Lancer leapt back to the entrance of the clearing and crouches on all fours like a beast. Archer senses freeze. Is it fear or awe? Either way, Archer understands right away the meaning of Lancer's retreat. He knows that his enemy's next attack is literally a fatal attack.
ゲイボルクの能力は効いているな、アーチャー。
Lancer, with his limbs on the ground, raises his waist. It's just like a sprinter waiting for the signal gun. Archer has no reply to spare. The knight in red throws away his swords and immerses himself in his own mind. But will he make it? Lancer's posture. If his demonic lance is just like the legend, a noble phantasm to block it cannot be anything superficial. But will he make it? Is Archer just using projection too? It would explain how he never ran out of swords. So is he going to try to project something that would block it?
行くぞ。この一撃。手向けとして受け取るがいい。
The Blue Panther runs. Even his afterimage is a blur. Lancer speeds to Archer like a whirlwind. There are 100 meters between them. Lancer's not going to thrust his lance using that whole distance to gain speed. The blue figure crouches. After running 50 meters in an instant, the spearman suddenly leaps up from the ground. His body flies through the air. He holds the demonic lance, said to always pierce the heart once it is thrust, over his head. Space distorts. According to legend, That lance scatters numerous spearheads once it is released. In other words, the lance of causality joins with the words to form a tapestry of action. The spearman in blue arches his back as if drawing a bow. And he smashes down the attack with a roar. This noble phantasm is a throwing attack by nature. A lance that never misses the heart. A cursed noble phantasm that cannot be avoided and will attack the enemy even if it misses. Adasgay Bolg, lance of destruction possessed by the hero that never lost in his lifetime. As it is hurled using all of Lancer's magical energy, it can be neither dodged nor blocked. Therefore, it is fatal. There's no way for anyone to survive once they are targeted by the demonic lance. I feel like Archer's gonna project something that will allow him to, though. The bullet approaches. In a split second, the knight in red closes his eyes as if accepting his death.
I have the bone of my soul.
The thorn of light blazes forth. And right before the thorn of destruction coming from the heavens strikes Archer. I just gotta say, that's on the bone of my sword. Ugh.
No. Ah, yes!
I don't know what that is. Its true name shakes the very air as it is spoken. Whoa! What the heck is going on? What the? So who is Archer? Like, should that reveal his identity to me? The lance crashes into the shield. The lance of death that penetrates every wall and outmaneuvers any evasion. That lance has been stopped. Radiating a storm of heat, the lance of sure kill is stopped by Archer's noble phantasm. The 7 flower petals appear from empty space and shield Archer from the demonic bullet. Who would know? This shield is Aias, the only shield said to have repelled the javelin of the great hero in the Trojan War. There are 7 barriers shaped like flower petals, and each layer is as strong as a castle wall. It is a boundary field noble phantasm that is said to be invincible against projectile weapons. The thrown lance will be defeated by this shield without penetrating even one of the petals. At the very least, Archer does not know of a lance that can penetrate this shield. But the lance of sure kill drills through the shield like it's nothing. Oh, snap. Okay, it's not that simple. The 6th petal is destroyed. Only one remains. The demonic lance reaches the 7th layer that has never been broken. The unstoppable thorn of the demonic lance. In the face of that power. With a roaring spirit, Archer puts all his magical energy into the noble phantasm. Something broke. Something shattered. After landing, Lancer glares at the servant in front of him. Archer has wounds all over his body. His raised arm is barely attached. Ooh, it broke through the shield anyways. His face is strained in pain, not only from the wounds on the arm, but also from the agony in his head.
驚いたな。アイアスを貫通しうる槍がこの世にあろうとは。君のそれはオリジナルのグングニルを上回っている。
The knight in red praises the spearman in blue from the bottom of his heart. The Lancer does not hear him. His strongest attack. The attack that made him a hero has been blocked. He's so angry that his glare should be able to kill someone. But the anger is almost erased by his wonder. This is too strange. It is true that Archer is a mysterious servant. His identity is unknown. He carries twin swords even though he's an archer. And now he shows a shield that can even block Lancer's strongest attack. Yeah, Archer is strange. He is very mysterious. It is absurd. There's no such hero on this planet.
貴様、何者だ?
ただの騎兵だが、君の見立ては間違いではない。
ざれ言を。騎兵が宝具を防ぐほどの盾を持つものか。
Yeah, no kidding. Who is he, man? Like,
場合によっては持つだろ
what is he project? I mean, is he projecting like just noble phantasms now? Like that might be what he just did.
う。だが、それもこのざまだ。魔力の大部分を消費したというのに、腕をやられ、アイアスも完全に破壊された。まったく、私が持ち得る最強の守りだったのだがな、今のは。
I take it that means he's probably not the original. Is he the original wielder of Ias? That's the question. Lancer doesn't seem convinced. Lancer only glares at Archer. Then,
それより、気づいたか、ランサー。キャスターめ、存外に苦戦していると見える。こちらに向けられていた監視が止まった。
Archer raises both his hands as if in surrender.
そうかよ。そうじゃねえかとは思ったけどな。てめえ、元からそういう腹か。
This caster's in trouble. She's no longer supervising us. So, what? They're not really allied anymore, or he's not bothering to supervise any of them, doesn't want them involved, or?
無論だ。言っただろう。勝率の高い手段だけを取ると。
I'm sure it'll be cleared up soon enough, but I'm not sure what he means by that.
とことん気に食わねえ野郎だな、てめえ。
Fair enough. Saying so, Lancer turns his back to Archer. His work is done. His role of keeping Archer busy is meaningless now. There's no more need for him to side with Tosaka Rin. The Spearman in Blue starts to walk away and lays down on the grass to wait and see. There goes the interlude. I forgot that was an interlude, yeah. They still have their fight in the building right now. So, I'm guessing it's updated with the Noble Phantasm that Archer just used. No? Really? Then what did they update in the status screen? Oh, okay. The ability to escape battle. We've seen this one. Rune B, the possession of the Northern European Magic Crest rune. Okay, I think that's all we got. Wait. Oh, no. Here. Okay. Fully unleashing the Curse of Gaibolg and throwing it with full force, this is a special use of the Noble Phantasm. Gaibolg was originally a thrown lance, and this was actually the correct usage. Unlike the Lance of Death Thorns, this emphasizes attack power over aiming for the heart, and it blows away an entire unit with a single throw. It is rather like an exploding bullet. The damage and form both come close to that of Bryonic, the Roaring 5 Stars, possessed by Lugh, the Celtic god of light, or Celtic god of light, sorry. I always think of NBA, it's definitely Celtic. But its ability of striking an opponent no matter how many times it is dodged makes it closer to the chief god of Northern Europe, Odin's Gungnir, Declaration of Great God. Interesting. It makes sense that his, I mean, he'd have multiple ways to use his Noble Phantasm. There's nothing saying that can't be the case. Anyways, let's get back to the fight between, Caster and Kazuki versus Tosaka and Shiro. That fight scene between Lancer and Archer, though, that was really nice. That was a really good fight scene. I really liked that. That was good. I honestly thought Archer had him. I thought Archer had him. I desperately parry the oncoming fists. Kazuki's fists are live snakes. Even if I barely dodge them, they change their paths to come bite me. That's why Saber was seriously wounded. Saber was bitten by Kazuki's snakes because she had the reflexes to dodge them. But I don't have such reflexes. I can't dodge them, and first of all, I can't even see his fists. I can't dodge them when I can't even see his fists. Oh, he gets smacked. My shoulder. Kazuki's fist grazed my left collarbone. Being brutal. It's just like a bush hammer. Feels as if my shoulders are being crushed and I almost dropped my swords. I buried and parry the fists going for my temple using the sword in my right hand. I desperately retreat. I pitifully retreat while Kazuki closes in, not revealing any hints of how he advanced. I shudder at his stance. I won't be able to withstand the next attack. It's miraculous that I was able to parry the attacks until now. It doesn't feel real. I hoped that I'd be able to protect myself and buy time for Tosaka until she defeated Caster, but such hope disappears after I took the first blow. Kazuki Soichiro took our previous battle into account. I was able to fend off Kazuki as he attacked Tosaka back then, so I thought I'd be able to fend him off again if I had Archer's twin swords. But, in other words, it means that I won't be able to do anything without them. Kazuki knows that. What he did first in this battle was to try to take the swords away from me. The sword in my right hand is destroyed. The fist, strengthened with Caster's magic, shatters my sword with a few blows. He just made it again. I immediately reproduced the short sword. I can't hope for high results with a forced projection, a quickly prepared sword. As a result, the twin swords start to lose their precision. I'm beating. Yeah, this is taking a toll on his body. He's not going to be able to do this much longer. I can't breathe right. I frantically block Kazuki's fists with the short swords. I just follow the twin swords. In copying Archer, Hemiyashiro's limbs have far exceeded the limits of his body. And then there's this headache. Something is scraped away inside of me every time I project something. It's not the sensation of using up magical energy. Feels like my precious magic circuits are disappearing one by one every time I make a sword. I'm almost all out. I might be able to make 2 more. I'll die when my magical energy runs out. But first of all, can I stay alive until my magical energy runs out? That's a tall task, man. I'm flung away. Kazuki's right fist, the fist he hadn't been using, was suddenly thrust like a lance. I shielded my chest with my blades. At that instant, my swords were destroyed, and the impact flung me away. That means these are the last 2. I feel something hard on my back. I must have been pushed back about 5 meters. I try to draw a breath and realize that I can't. The penetrating impact has numbed my heart. I can't breathe, and I can't move. It's only for a few seconds. In the few moments it takes my heart to resume its work. Kazuki's about to annihilate him. The devil approaches. This is it. This man could kill me if I dropped my guard for only a second. With me like this, he has time to do it 6 times over. I glare at the enemy. Even if my limbs won't move, there's something I can do. First of all, I'm not suited for melee combat. Miyashiro's weapon has always been his magic. And it's not over yet. My role is to keep Kazuki busy. I can't give up without fulfilling my role. Wait, what? The sound didn't come from right in front of me. The image of the sword disappears from my mind. Kazuki, who is approaching to twist off my neck, stops. Something is happening behind Kazuki. It happened to Caster, with the altar behind her. I feel like it's Saber. It's gotta be, right? Oh, man. Saber totally just got involved, didn't she? Oh, man. Let's just keep going and see. Osaka's also at a disadvantage. Now, her burden is greater, as she fully understands the difference in their powers. Caster points her finger with a composed expression. The magic is Iroh, Plague Wind. Caster does not need to cast her magic. For a witch that lived in the Age of Gods, incantations are unnecessary to connect herself with the world. Caster is always surrounded by divine mysteries of ancient lore. For Caster, magic is something she commands. It's just like ordering... Excuse me. It is just like ordering her guard dog to attack. She nullifies it with her treasure jewel. She does not have the time to cast a spell, and she cannot match Caster with simple magic from her magic crest. Their skills as magi are as far apart as heaven and earth. To bridge that gap, she must use the power that she has spent a long time gathering. Crystallization of magical energy that she has stored since she was born as a magus. For this battle, she's prepared to use all 9 jewels remaining from the original 10.
けなげに頑張ること。そんな奥の手があるとは思わなかったわ、お嬢さん。
I mean, she's gonna need more than that though, right? Like, are those really gonna be enough? Even though her magic is nullified by pure magical energy, Caster keeps her smile. Caster can continue using magic indefinitely, while the girl must oppose Caster using jewels as amplifiers. The difference between them is self-evident. No matter how many jewels she might have, it cannot be more than 10 or 20. There's no way Caster can be defeated with such a small arsenal. Number 2. Down to 7. She nullifies the electric charge with the 7th jewel. She has 6 jewels left, excuse me. Down to 6. Really? Didn't they just say she was down to 8? I guess they don't say she has 8 left. She could have already used one. Well, doesn't seem like it. Whatever. Who cares? Not relevant.
あら、綺麗に防ぎ切るのね。本当にけなげ。自分だけ守っていれば石を使い切ることもないでしょうに。
She does not react to the giggling voice and takes out another jewel to get ready for the next attack. As Caster says, the jewel will not break if she uses it to protect only herself. The jewel should be able to protect her about 3 times. She can't do that. Caster's magic covers the whole temple once it is cast. Kazuki should be protected by Caster, but he is an exception. She cannot nullify Caster's spell before it is completed, and Miyashiro, who's keeping Kazuki Soichiro busy, will burn and die. Dang, that's a burden on her shoulders. Therefore, it is meaningless to protect just herself. She cannot allow him to die like that. And besides, the whole plan revolves around Shiro keeping Kazuki busy.
まだ守りきるつもり？大した信念ですけど、それもいつまで持つかしらね。
Exactly. You've got to.
受けてばかりでは結果は見えていてよ。お嬢さん。
I hope we got some other plan. Gotta have something else cooked up. Especially if Saber's about to get involved, which I think is happening. Unless she's somehow involved on our side. Which would be absurd. Very unlikely. Caster moves her finger. She makes the first move this time. Her jewels will run out and she will be killed if she keeps defending. Caster's magic and her jewels. The magical energy contained in them is the same, so it means she can beat Caster if she makes the first move. But there's no way to exceed Caster's spellcasting. If Tosaka Rin is the fastest because she can perform magic directly by releasing the jewels, Caster is also the fastest, as she is capable of creating divine mysteries with one word. There's no first move in their battle. This is merely a clash of power against power. The first one to run out of magical energy will die. Then... She just needs to force her way through. She unleashes a barrage of jewels to penetrate Caster's magical energy. Jewels 5, 3, and 4 released in succession. Moreover, she uses the treasured 4th jewel to add a synergistic effect. This magic is beyond her limits. You can't use magic surpassing your own level. The one who said so is breaking the rule to execute this attack. The attack will destroy not only the temple, but the whole church if Caster does not defend against it. What was that? But the witch in purple blocks it like nothing. No, she did not just nullify it. Caster swallowed all of her magical energy inside of her robe. Osaka stands there in astonishment. Yikes. Behind her, she can hear the sound of his defeat. Sounds of breaking swords and his body slamming against the wall. The match is about to be settled. She has nothing she can do and her body sways. She staggered forward as if overwhelmed by despair.
あら、これで終わり？まだ手持ちの宝石はあるのでしょ？諦めずになくなるまで試してみたら？
And now she's goading us. Great. There's no spirit to answer her. No matter how many jewels she may have, that was her greatest attack. Even that attack is useless, and she cannot hurt Caster even if she has 100 jewels.
そう。ようやく理解したようね。何をしようが私にはかなわないと。けれど楽しくはあったわ、お嬢さん。 魔術を競い合うのは久しぶりでしたからね。
I don't know if I'd call that much of a competition. We're gonna need Saber to, like, bust out of this and somehow be on our side if we want to escape here, not dead.
ええ。それだけでもあなたに価値を与えましょう。
Oh, Lord. She stops herself from falling, holds in her nausea with her hand, and glares at Castor.
悔しいけれどこれが現実よ。むしろ誇りなさい。遊んであげたとはいえ、あなたはこの私に魔術戦をさせたのだから。
I guess that's something. She is a servant after all. Can't expect to match that power level. And Castor points at her, as if to pronounce her death sentence.
消えなさい。あの坊やが私のマスターに倒されるのは時間の問題。その前に、こちらもそろそろ終わりにしましょう。
Castor slowly whispers her death. That opening. She's been waiting for this. She only needs to say one phrase to release it. She hangs her head and smiles as she murmurs. What's that? What does that do? What did you do, Tosaka? Excuse me? Doubt my own eyes for a second. Tosaka and Castor. The battle of magic has ended with Tosaka's defeat. Tosaka slowly staggered forward as if asking for Castor's forgiveness. Castor released her magic to finish her off. At that instant, Tosaka nullified the magic. That's fine. That's not surprising. The surprise came after that. Tosaka charged in and attacked Castor. What, they in melee combat now? Oh man. Is that what this is? She's like, yeah, I can't compete in magic, but these fists can compete. That'd be pretty funny. Tosaka throws herself into Hellfire. Nullifying the magic and using it as cover, she attacks Castor. Castor's surprise is that of a Magus. She could not have predicted that a Magus, defeated in magic, would attack with bare hands. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. You gotta think. You gotta use your head. There you go, Tosaka. I didn't expect it either. So it must be like heresy. It must be like heresy for Castor, who is an excellent Magus. Goodness. I messed that sentence up so bad. And it's not just some desperate move. Tosaka closes in and hits Castor in the chest with a move from Chinese martial arts. Oh god. Yeah, she knows martial arts too. Goodness. A shattering sound. Tosaka's fist must be strengthened like Kazuki's, as her attack easily penetrates Castor's defense. Oh, it took a page from their playbook! Oh, that's genius! Tosaka, you are... What? That is genius.
魔術師のくせに殴り合いなんて。
ホワイ肉様、今時の魔術師ってのは護身術も必修科目よ。
Yeah, and this is why. Situations like this. God dang. They scrapping. I'm fascinated by her combination. Tosaka drops after the first attack. Putting her hands on the floor, she sinks below Castor's knees. The Castor, who lacks any experience in hand-to-hand combat, it must look like Tosaka disappeared. She executes a strong sweep. Hit her with a leg sweep? She lashes out her foot with all her might as if to cut off Castor's legs. God dang. Oh my god. Her feet swept from beneath her. Castor lands on her back. But it doesn't end. After the sweep, Tosaka gets up with her back turned to Castor, uses the turning momentum to attack with her elbow, and... Stopping her turning, Tosaka punches with all her weight. God damn. Girl just got clocked. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tosaka's really scrapping with Castor right now. Oh my god. Castor's body is knocked away. Taking the punch directly, Castor is smashed into the wall like me. Holy crap. I mean, yeah, it's probably the best way to fight Castor. With her back to the wall, Castor moans dizzily. They are separated. Tosaka kicks the ground to cover the few meters in between them. The match is settled. Have you been paying attention to Kazuki at all, or is he about to swoop in? Right? Or maybe Saber's gonna swoop in. Caster cannot move, and her wound seems fatal. The battle only lasted a moment. The match is decided within 5 seconds after I was smashed into the wall by Kazuki. Caster doesn't have the energy to fight back. Tosaka runs to Caster with saber-like speed and executes her finishing blow. Strengthening of a few seconds using magic. Tosaka intended to fight Caster like this from the start. Caster only saw a Magus in Tosaka. She challenged Caster at magic so that she could achieve her one-time surprise attack. And the plan worked. Caster's been deceived and is lost completely. Man, don't say that yet. Don't say that yet. Have you paid it? Where's Kazuki? Where's Kazuki? Where's Saber? Is Saber still on the altar? Man, I hope so. Tosaka has won the battle. Like, you saying that over and over makes me less and less sure that you guys won the battle. Yes.
いや、そこまでだ、遠坂。
Yeah, figured. Not for this man's monstrous ability. If Tosaka ran to Caster like a hurricane, he ran like the devil's wind. I told you, like, Shiro needed to get up and distract him again. Tosaka stops. Kazuki Soichiro, the one who was in front of me until now, is standing in front of Caster. Tosaka moves. The instant Tosaka feels death, jumps back and shields herself. Kazuki's attack that blew me away strikes Tosaka in the face. Yikes! Yikes. She guarded her face with both her arms and jumped back, but she's still sent flying. Tosaka smashes into the wall opposite me, her arms dangling as if broken.
勝機を逃したな。4度打ち込んで殺せなかったお前の未熟だ。
Yeah. Shiro really, I mean, I know he was kind of in a rough spot there, but Tosaka really needed him to hold him off for just a few more seconds. He speaks plainly. That's not Tosaka's fault. The reason she lost her chance is because of me. If I'd kept Kazuki busy, Tosaka would have beaten Caster. This is my fault. My weak fighting skills were unable to stand up to Kazuki's ability. Our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was lost. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. Caster regains consciousness. Protected by Kazuki, Caster looks around the temple. This is it. The surprise attack won't work on Caster anymore. Osaka's tired, and I can only project 2 more swords. If Caster uses her in this situation, we will never make it out of here alive.
感謝しますわマスター。あなたがいなければあのまま倒されていました。
世辞はいい。今はセーバーを起こせ。甘く見ていい相手ではなさそうだ。
Yikes. Do not just get Saber, please. Please?
ええ、的確な判断ですわ、マスター。
Caster points to the woman on the altar, the visible binding of the curse, and when Caster tries to release it.
ああ。それがあと数秒ほど早ければな。
What? Archer, what are you doing here, buddy? Hello? Is this what he meant? By she's not supervising him anymore? Above me, I hear a soft voice from the stairs leading up. It is Caster that notices the strange event first. Kazuki doesn't notice. It is because Kazuki cannot detect magical energy. Caster moves. Above her master. Above Kazuki Soichiro's head. Are floating numerous swords. Wait.
ああ。それがあと数秒ほど早ければな。
This seems like something Gilgamesh would do, but that did not sound like Gilgamesh. Floating numerous swords.
総一郎。
She must have figured out that her injuries will prevent her from blocking them with magic. Caster uses her body to protect her master.
トレース。ボン。
Oh my god. They're so similar down to how they use their projection? Are you serious? They activate their magic circuits in the same way! The murmuring voice from above says those words. Oh lord. The sounds end. The swords appearing in midair come down at one target and pierce one body. The numerous blades rip and tear the meat, then disappear like an illusion. What's left are traces of blood. It, having become a shield of her own free will, she now turns her bloody body to the man behind her. Kazuki is silent. In front of him is the skewered servant. Maybe there's no need to hide it now. The robe is removed from her head, and the woman walks over to her master with a bare face. Her body is collapsing. With a dying body, the woman looks up at her master, who has not twitched a brow. Her slender fingers run across the expressionless face. Jeez. Her voice seems clear. There's no change in Kazuki. He only answers with a simple yes, and does not even look at Castor.
よかった。あなたに死なれては困ります。
She looks as if it is fine. No, the woman smiles, knowing what kind of man he is.
でも残念です。やっと望みが見つかったのに。
It is cruel, in a way, I'm not gonna lie. Given what we know of her backstory, and her origin as a hero. That is kind of cruel. The fingers running along his cheek fall down. Beginning at her toes, Castor's body is disappearing.
悲嘆することはない。お前の望みは私が代わりに果たすだけだ。
She smiles at the simple answer. She smiles as if seeing a short-lived dream.
それはダメでしょうね。だって私の望みはさっきまで叶っていたんですから。
Yep. Just, what, being with him? The witch collapses as if going to sleep. The purple robe falls. The robe without its wearer fades and disappears as if following her. Kazuki does not even look at her. His attention is focused on the man above. The knight in red who should be above me. I get a headache. It's not just because I've abused projection. Muttered spell. The spell he said is smashing my brain with nausea. Trace on. That's what he said. He said the exact words of the spell that shouldn't be used by anyone else but me. Are they that similar, or is this, like, too similar to be coincidence? I don't know. Archer comes down the stairs and stands in the temple. Tosaka's watching him with surprise.
あーちゃもしかしたらって思ってたけど、そういうこと？
Archer does not answer. He's only watching his enemy, Kazuki.
獅子心中の虫か。
Yes,
初め
sir.
からこれを狙っていたな。アーチャー。
It makes a lot of sense. I don't know if I ever mentioned the possibility of him as a double agent, actually. Or kind of like a double agent. Planning on turning on them later. I actually have no clue if I ever mentioned that. But it makes a lot of sense in retrospect. Given that I did call out that it was weird that he actively, like, convinced Castor to let Tosaka live, right? You know, I noticed that, right? And this could be why. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that fits so well with what he said earlier. Right? Like, oh, man. He basically said that if you get results, like, any disgrace will be washed away, right? That's basically what he said. So the disgrace of betraying Tosaka, for him, is probably washed away now because of the fact that he killed Castor, right?
ああ。だが、どちらかといえば、トロイの木馬だろう。
Yeah, pretty much.
倒すべきがギリシャの英傑であったのだからな。例え話としては、そちらの方がふさわしい。
To defeat the Greek hero. Yep. Suppose so. Archer shows no guilt even though he has betrayed Castor in front of us.
そうか。お前のような男を引き込んだキャスターの落ち度だったな。
I suppose so. Kazuki does not change his tone even in front of a betrayer. He still has the will to fight. He's not a magician, he has lost Castor, but he has the will to continue fighting. He readies himself. As Castor's gone, Kazuki's strength must have dropped substantially. His snake is still there, but Castor's strengthening that made his fists into steel is gone. But still, Kazuki faces Archer like before.
そうか。続けるというのなら、止めはしない。
Archer readies his twin swords. Their duel has begun. That should end in like half a second. Is that alright? Kazuki said he has no interest in the Holy Grail. A master in name only, he merely went along with Castor. And there's no reason for him to fight now that Castor's gone.
待て、どうして続けるんだクズキ。あんたはキャスターの言いなりになってただけだろう。キャスターはもういないんだから戦う理由はないはずだ。
You'd think. There's gotta be some reason. I glare at them, gritting my teeth against the pain. Kazuki narrows his eyes a bit.
そうだ。戦う理由などない。お前と同じく、私は聖杯などに興味はなかったからな。
Then why do you continue to fight?
なら。
だが、これは私が始めたことだ。それを途中でやめることなどできない。
Fair enough, I guess. I can respect that. It's gonna end and you dead, but like in like 10 seconds, well, not even 10 seconds probably. Like half a second after the fight starts, but I mean, if you're going in knowing that, then I guess. That's it. That's all the reason he has. The battle starts. The battle should end in one blow. Even if Kazuki has superhuman fighting abilities, he's fighting a servant. You can't be a match by just being superhuman. Even though this is called a battle, it is actually just disposal of the loser. The fate of the loser. It is the battle between masters to kill and be killed, and that is the end they have to be ready for. One shouldn't fight at all if he can't accept that. But still. Okay. Stop the fight between Kazuki and Archer, or don't? That's a good question. Logically, we probably should let him die, right? In case he could somehow become a master later. Well, we gotta think about it like this. Would Shiro really ever do that, right? Does he actually think Kazuki would be enough of a threat that it would warrant killing him, right here? I don't know. And Saber's master is dead now, right? Which means we could probably reclaim Saber. I feel like she wouldn't just be, I mean, she might not be very happy with us if we just killed Kazuki. Possibly. I mean, that sounds dumb. Maybe we do need to kill Kazuki, or he claims Saber, though. I don't know. I feel like it's more likely that Shiro would try to stop them, even understanding that, logically, it would make sense to kill him, and that Kazuki is ready for death. Right? I feel like Shiro would do this either way. And I don't see enough benefit in the second choice that I'm just going to run with what I think Shiro would do. Or would be more likely to do. We'll see if that's wrong. If it's wrong, I mean, I just lose a few minutes. It is what it is. If I can save him, is it wrong to want to prevent his death if I can? I don't care if I'm called soft-hearted. I know it's just hypocrisy. To defeat another master means killing them. We fought, prepared to kill each other. I know how unfair it is to stop them now. But still, I decided to fight so that I could save people. I can't ignore a life that can be saved.
やめろ。勝負はついた。これ以上は。
I suppressed my headache and tried to stop them. At that instant, Kazuki moves. Kazuki must have taken my voice as a signal, as he rushes Archer in a flash and lashes out at his temple. Any ordinary man would have had his skull crushed, but Archer does not dodge it. His head moves from the impact. The Knight in Red takes Kazuki's blow and pierces Kazuki Soichiro's chest at the same time. At least he tried to stop it. There's only silence. Nobody says anything, and I have nothing to say in any case. Kazuki Soichiro died. He was silent until the very end, and he died on the path he chose without showing regrets or hope. I have a headache. Is my magic circuit compressing my nerves? Or can I not forgive Archer for killing Kazuki? Or am I pissed at myself for not having the right to say anything to him? I can't tell, and my headache only gets worse. Whoa, what was that? I turn around at the sound. With Castor's disappearance, the bonds must have broken. Okay, it was Saber. Saber's on the floor in front of the altar. Saber painfully breathes on the floor. That makes me forget about my headache.
Saber!
I run to her. Even this short distance is an annoyance.
シロ。
Ugh, Castor really made her wear that. She raises her head. Saber sighs in relief as she sees me run to her and tackles me with her shoulders and pushes me away. Did Archer try to kill us? This dude! She pushes me forcefully to the side. My body flies for a few meters and lands on the ground. I cannot stand you sometimes, Archer. I land on my back. I shake my confused head and look up. At that instant, I hear steel hitting steel. Is he trying to kill us because we tried to stop him from killing Kazuki? Or is he just like, yep, I can kill Shiro now? Fire. Saber's there, fully armored, and numerous swords lie on the floor, right where I was standing before Saber tackled me.
外したか
Man, you suck. To think I was happy to see you. He says in a bored voice, facing Saber. Saber, who can barely keep her body standing, glares at Archer. I don't even need to ask why she's glaring at him. He shot those swords from behind to kill me. Saber saw that and instantly pushed me away. Tosaka watches him in astonishment, and Saber readies her sword while breathing heavily. The situations are different, but they both have wonder in their eyes. Why is Archer trying to kill Emishiro when Castor's dead already? The only calm ones are Archer and I. It's not that surprising. We hated each other from the start. We opposed each other, unable to get along. I don't know why, but I just cannot approve of him. The reason behind it. That is really the reason for us not being able to approve of each other. It is natural for him to want to kill me. What? Is that not just how similar they are? In a lot of ways? I mean, is it more than that? I don't know. I get up. Saber must have been desperate. She tackled me without holding back, so I can't breathe properly. That just makes me more determined. This is all she can manage when she tackled me with all her might. She doesn't have enough power left in her to even fight me. It's suicidal for her to confront Archer in such a state.
あーちゃん、何のつもり？
What do you think he's doing? He's not bound to your command spell anymore, so... And Castor's dead, so... Tosaka draws near Archer. It's natural. Archer switched to Castor's side to attack her by surprise. Now that it succeeded, there's no reason for him to attack me.
芝居はもう終わりでしょ？キャスターは倒したんだから、もう勝手な真似は許さないわよ。
許さない わからないな。なぜ私が許されなければならないのだ。
I mean, I suppose that is
私の
true.
マスターでもないお前に。
That is true.
はーちゃん
Yes, he's not planning on coming back.
お前との契約は切れている。自由になった私が自ら進んで人間の手下になると思うのか。
After staring up at the night in astonishment, Tosaka gasps in sudden realization.
まさかあーちゃん
私は私の目的のためだけに行動する。だがそこにお前がいてはいささか面倒だ。
Tosaka jumps back. She gets away from Archer, tries to run towards me, who is still on my knees, and her movement is stopped cold. A swarm of swords about 2 meters high. They pierce the ground, drawing a circle and becoming a circular prison. It's a circle big enough for one person to fit in, and Tosaka is trapped inside. He's basically got, like, Gilgamesh's reign of swords. Are you serious? You can just use this
こ
over
こ
and
ま
over?
で来て邪魔はさせん。契約が切れた今、お前にかけられた0時の縛りも存在しない。キャスターについた理由はそれだけだ。あの0時を無効にするためには契約を破棄せねばならなかったからな。
You hate us that much? Are you serious? Oh my god. He wanted to kill us that bad? Are you for real? Turning his back to the imprisoned Tosaka, Archer starts to walk. Not towards Saber, but towards me, still on my knees.
やっぱりなんでよあーちゃんあんたまだシロを殺すつもりなの
I don't think that's a question. Do you still want to kill Shiro? You already tried. I don't think that's much of a question.
そう。自らの手でエミやシロを殺す。それだけが守護者となり果てた俺のただ一つの願望だ。
He went from wanting to protect humans to being this desperate to kill one with his bare hands. Or own hands, not bare hands. Whoops.
何
Power returns to Saber's body. She musters her strength and moves between Archer and me.
あーちゃんあなたはまさか
そうだ。いつか言っていたな、セイバー。俺には英雄としての誇りがないのかと。無論だ。そんなものがあるはずがない。この身を埋めているのは後悔だけだよ。
うん。
俺はね、セイバー。英雄になどならなければよかったんだ。
Dang. Dang. The aggression fades from Saber. What did she figure out? Her enmity towards Archer is gone.
そういうことだ。引いているがいい、騎士を。マスターがいない身で無茶をすれば、すぐに消えるぞ。
That's true. She doesn't have a master either. They have to know each other, right?
もはやエミやシローにはマスターの資格がない。肩入れしたところで君の望みには届かない。
それはできない。マスターで亡くなったとしても契約は消えない。彼を守り剣になると誓った。聖杯戦争など知らなかった彼はそれでも私の一方的な誓いに応えてくれた。その信頼を裏切ることなどできない。
She readies her invisible sword, but I don't see the usual valor or strength in her stance.
そうか。 ならば偽りの主ともどもここで消えろ。
Lancer, can you come help us, please? I don't know how else we're getting out of this, man. Twin swords appear in Archer's hands. Saber can't even take those swords right now.
バカ逃げろサイバー
I get up and reach for Saber. She'd do it to get away from my reach. Saber pulls herself together, kicks the ground, and charges at Archer. Saber. The battle ends after a few blows. Saber, the one who overwhelmed Archer before, falls to her knees, unable to stand for even a few seconds. The sword isn't even in Saber's hands now. After resisting Caster's command spell for so long, she has no magical energy left. Unable even to breathe, she puts her hands on the floor, desperately trying to hold her disappearing body together. Archer raises his swords. The twin swords are swung down onto Saber, and... Oh, what was that? Okay, dang, Shiro. I jump in from the side and stop them using all my might. I ready my twin swords. I hold the instantly projected weapons and glare at the knight in red. Instantly projected? He needed a minute earlier.
おう。あとしばらくはおとなしくしていると思ったがな。さすがに目の前で女が殺されるのは耐えられないか。
うるさい。お前が殺したがってるのは俺だろう。なら相手を間違えるな。
Yeah? How is Shiro getting out of this? I confront him. We both have twin swords in our hands. Our physiques are different, but our stances are the same in every regard.
人真似もそこまで行けば本物だ。だが、お前の体はその魔術講師に耐えられるかな?
A sneering voice. No. My limit is near, as he says. My headache does not stop, and my magic circuit has its limiter full from all the projection magic. My brain will explode before I get slashed if I fight him while retaining the image of the twin swords.
前に忠告したな。お前に投影は扱えないと。分不相応の魔術は身を滅ぼす。お前をここまで生かしてきた奇跡の代償。ここで支払うことになったな。エミヤシロ。
I mean, I guess you're not wrong, but... Archer charges in.
黙りやがれ、てめえ!
To that, I frantically move my swords as if slashing my headache away. I swing my arms. My techniques are all a copy of my enemy's. My weapon is copied, and my technique is copied. Therefore, I cannot match him. I couldn't match him even if I were in top condition. An imitation can get close to the original, but never surpass it. I cannot match this man from the start. The man told me to drown in my ideals and die. The man said that my life is a false life. I could not object to those words because he was my ideal. A power to make the impossible possible. An existence that saved many people and became a heroic spirit. It was I who wanted to become such a person. That's why I can't match him. The man in front of me is the end of that road. He is my ideal, becoming strong to save people, so... My swords shatter. I was about to block his attacks, but my twin sword disappear. I can't stay conscious. My body isn't hurt, but my insides are bleeding and about to give out.
納得がいったか。それがエミヤシロの限界だ。無理を積み重ねてきたお前にはふさわしい幕切れだろう。
He raises his sword. As I try to figure out with my dazed mind if the sword will come down from the right or the left. Whoa, what are you doing?
我が命運は汝の剣に。聖杯のよるべに従い、この断りに従うのなら。
Tosaka's gallant voice echoes through the temple. That must have caught his attention. The sword slowed down a bit, if that's the case. I can dodge it even with a body like this. What's happening? I roll on the floor and get away. Archer clenches his teeth, but looks at Saber instead of pursuing me. Is she forming a contract with Saber? Oh my. Tosaka reaches out towards Saber from within the prison of swords. Saber runs to her using her last power and... Oh man. Are you serious? No way. Are you kidding me? I mean, if it's what we gotta do, it's what we gotta do, right? A contract that should have originally been made. Saber finally obtains a master that is appropriate for her. Oh, good God! That's gotta be like the coolest CG in the game. That has gotta be like the coolest CG in the whole game so far. Oh my God. Violent wind rages. She must have gotten back her true powers by obtaining a true master. Saber's unlike anything she was before. Oh God. Oh no. What is she? Oh no. I'm not the only one that gasped. She is about to show her true strength. Even Archer is fascinated. Rising swirls of magical energy and armor that can never be damaged. There seems to be no end to this overwhelming power. This is Saber. The heroic spirit of the sword said to be the strongest servant.
He was
gonna kill us and then let her form a contract. Bro, get out of here. Archer murmurs while looking at Saber. He must not have enough to spare to pay attention to me now.
それでどうするセイバー。リンと契約した以上、君は本当にエミヤシロとは無関係になったわけだが。
言ったはずです、アーチャー。素人の誓いはなくならないと。
It sure won't. It sure won't. Let's go. Okay. Here's how we're escaping this one. Oh man. I did not expect this. Maybe I should have, but Saber is firm. Archer clucks his tongue and grips his twin swords again. It actually is a possibility that briefly passed my mind. I'm not gonna lie, but then I was like, let's just move on. Probably not happening, right? I was like, dang, what if that did happen though, right? And then I was like, maybe we'd somehow form a contract with Archer. Psych, that would never happen. That'd be funny. Archer clucks his tongue and grips his twin swords again.
あなたこそどうするのです、アーチャー。あなたが白を手にかけるというのなら、考え直すのなら今のうちです。今の私を相手にして、勝機があるとは思わないでしょう。
If he does, he's tripping. Saber's warning is true. Saber would not lose even to Berserker now. No matter who he may be, Archer cannot match Saber. He should know that more than anyone, but...
たかだか魔力が戻った程度で、よくもそこまで強気になる。
This dude. He's something else. Archer charges. This is one hell of a grudge. Their weapons clash. Archer charges in at Saber like a red bullet and attacks her with all his might. Saber receives the blow like nothing. Neither the size difference nor Archer's momentum matter. Saber repels Archer's swords without flinching. Archer, the one who attacked, is the one who retreats. The attack made with all his strength, a blow that should not need to be repeated, is... Not only is it blocked, but his body loses balance as well. Dang, he got parried so hard he's about to fall over. Yeah, you can leave now. You can leave now, bud. Archer steps back. There. Saber swords attack him like surging waves of raging fire. Archer can only defend against her attacks. Saber sword will kill him if he tries to counter. No, first of all, he does not have anything to spare for a counterattack. The only resistance Archer is allowed is to block Saber's attacks until he runs out of energy. And that should not take long. The magical energy in Saber Sword scrapes away Concho and Bakia with each attack. The twin swords cannot take anymore, and Archer's arm should be powerless by now. It's a miracle he's not dead yet. The match is settled rather quickly. Archer falls to one knee, unable to stand against Saber's assault. I love that they used this song for this, by the way. Saber swings down her sword as if to finish him off. Archer blocks it by crossing his twin swords in front of him. The battle is at an end. Even though he blocked Saber's blow, Archer cannot move. Saber's sword will split his head in two if he loosens his power on the twin swords. Archer puts power in his arms to stop Saber's blow. Sweat forms on his forehead and he's breathing hard. In contrast, Saber's breathing is normal. It is impossible for Archer to beat Saber in hand-to-hand combat.
ここまでです、アーチャー。
Oh, why didn't they play that line? That's lame.
先ほど私の身を案じていましたが、それはあなたにも言えることだ。キャスターを倒すためにあれだけの宝具を使った今、魔力は残り少ないはずです。
Yeah, no kidding. And using his own, or maybe not his own, projecting another one, maybe, to try to defend against Lancer, and then getting utterly annihilated, and somehow coming back this fast.
加えて、この世に留まるためのマスターもいない。魔力の供給もままならない。今のあなたに何ができる？
How did he heal that fast? I know he's a servant, but would he have healed that quickly? I have some potentially dumb theories. I might explain them. I'll probably explain them later.
それこそ余計な世話だ、セイバー。アーチャーのサーバントにはマスターがおらずとも単独で存在する能力がある。マスターを失ったとしても2日は存命できよう。それだけあればあの小僧を仕留めるには十分だ。
Why is he so desperate?
バカな。まだそんなことを言うのですか？あなたの望みは聖杯ではなく、白を殺すことだとでも。
For me, I have an idea about what this could be, but it really depends. Like, if I sound ridiculous or not depends on how crazy this game is going to get. Really, that's what it depends on. At risk of sounding like an idiot, I'm going to say kind of what I've been possibly thinking. What are the odds that Archer, I'm gonna sound dumb if I'm wrong. I'm gonna sound really dumb if I'm wrong. Right? Don't make fun of me. Alright? Like, the thought keeps going through my head, like, what if Archer is just Shiro, right? Who had, wished to become a hero in one way or another, right? Who used the Holy Grail's power to become a hero. Because they said they're, dislocated through time, right? So, in theory, that means he could have come back here, right? If that was the case, I don't know. Maybe that's too ridiculous, but their similarities are way too glaring. Way too glaring. Right? Like, the fact that they both use projection magic. Trace on, right? Being exactly how they do that. Right? Shiro also having always been an archer, taking solace in archery. The fact that Shiro naturally flocked to Archer's form in his twin swords, right? Maybe this is just me playing way too many time travel games, right? It's very possible. It's quite frankly very likely even, but it is just a thought, right? And maybe that's why he's so desperate to kill Shiro, because that was his past, and at this point, like, he thinks his past self is ridiculous. Now that sounds really stupid. I highly doubt. I doubt that's the reason. I can't say highly doubt. Really, it depends. It just depends on how far this game is going to go. I could very well see it if this game is willing to go that crazy, right? But if not, I sound like an idiot right now. Don't make fun of me. Okay? Okay. Alright. Archer doesn't answer. His cold eyes stare at the troubled Saber.
なんということ。アーチャー、あなたの望みは間違っている。なぜそのような結末を望むのですか。そんなことをしてもあなたは
will not be saved. Saber bites her lips and stops herself from saying so.
間違えているか。
The muscles on Archer's arms bulge. He looks at Saber once.
それはこちらのセリフだ、セイバー。君こそいつまで間違った望みを抱いている。
There. It could also explain why he would know Saber immediately, right? Immediately recognize her, right? And know her wish, right? He says so with eyes staring far away.
アーチャー。
Saber's sword loosens up. Using that opening, Archer gets up and kicks Saber with his freed leg. Even though she's knocked back, Saber lands gracefully. The situation hasn't changed at all. Saber's protecting me and facing Archer, who has Tosaka trapped within a cage of swords behind him. The distance between them is 5 meters again.
分かりきっていたことだが、やはり剣技では及ばぬか。
Twin swords disappear and he confronts Saber unarmed.
アーチャー、剣を捨てたということは戦いを収める気に。
まさか。君こそ思い違いはよせ。俺はアーチャーだぞ。もとより、剣で戦うものではない。
Fair enough. So what, he's whipping out the bow now? With those words.
I'm the bone of my soul.
What does that mean? He begins this spell in a voice I can't hear.
やめろ、アーチャー。私はあなたとは。
セイバー、いつかお前を解き放つ者が現れる。それは今回ではないようだが、おそらくは次もお前と関わるのは私なのだろうよ。
Maybe, what, have they fought against each other in prior Holy Grail Wars then?
Unknown to death, unknown to life.
His spell echoes through the temple. There's no change. A long spell like that should affect the surroundings. Magic influences the world. But a spell does not affect the world, but instead...
だが、それはあくまで次の話。今の俺の目的は、エミやシロを殺すことだけだ。
What is that spell doing?
それを阻むのならば、この世界は、お前が相手でも容赦はせん。
He raises his left arm. Does that complete his spell?
Unlimited blade works.
Ah. Well, I see where the route got its name now. He clearly speaks out and changes the world. Whoa! Fire runs. It runs across the floor and looks like a white line. Is the surrounding fire a boundary line? The color of fire fills my vision and paints the temple. After that, my surroundings are replaced by this strange world. Ooh. What the heck is going on? You just take us to like an alternate world? This looks like the, you know, the Sword of Hills, or Field of Swords, whatever. Did I say Sword of Hills? Field of Swords. The Field of Swords, or like the thing we keep seeing in his dreams. But obviously there's those massive cogs in the background. What is going on here? Pain fills my brain. I can tell. I understand what this magic is, what this absurdity is. I shouldn't be able to understand, but I can tell what this is whether I want to or not. And that makes my brain boil. In short, this is a steel manufacturing factory, burning fire and turning cogwheels. A field of swords without owners extends to the horizon of the desert. All the swords in the ground are famous. Concho and Baki originally came from this world. An almost infinite projection of weapons. Innumerable weapons make this place seem like a waste yard. The Knight in Red reigns at the center of this kingdom of rubble.
これ
The confused voice is Saber's. Inside the illusionary fire that is not even hot, she watches the knight in blank amazement.
固有結界
Oh, I remember Tosaka mentioning those.
心象世界を具現化して現実を侵食する大禁獣
Oh, oh my.
つまりあんたは剣士でもなければ弓兵でもなくて
What a magus.
そう生前英霊となる前は魔術師だったということだ。
I mean, I suppose that makes sense. He's using projection, so... And actively mentioned using it in the past and having, like, adverse effects on himself. Tosaka sounds disinterested. Could it be? Did she already know Archer's true identity?
ではアーチャーあなたの宝具は
そんなものはない。私は聖剣も魔剣も持ってなどいなかったからな。俺が持ち得るのはこの世界だけだ。
Yeah, that makes sense. That he doesn't have one at all.
宝具が英霊のシンボルだというのなら、この魔術こそが俺の宝具。武器であるのならば、オリジナルを見るだけで複製し、貯蔵する。それが俺の英霊としての能力だ。
Saber gasps. She looks with blank amazement at the extending graveyard of swords in the desert. The ashen sky and steel wasteland, devoid of all life.
これがあなたの世界だというのかアーチャー
そうだ。試してみても構わんぞ、セイバー。お前の聖剣、確実に複製してみせよ。
What is he about to make? Caliburn or Excalibur?
私の聖剣その正体を知って言うのかアーチャー
Yeah.
もちろん。あれほどのものになると完全な複製はできぬが、真に迫ることはできる。となれば、どうなる？聖剣同士が衝突したとき、周りの人間は生きていられるかな？
アーチャーあなたは
そういうことだ。間違っても聖剣を使うな、セイバー。使えば、俺も抵抗せざるを得ない。
So what? This is his last plan to kill us?
その場合、消えるのは我々ではなく、周りの人間だ。お前のことだ。自身を犠牲にしてもそこの小僧を守るだろう。俺とて、聖剣など投影しては自滅する。となれば、生き残るのは一人だけ。それではあまりにも意味がない。
Debatable. Archer raises his left arm. The swords behind him float up one by one.
抵抗はするな。運が良ければ即死することもない。ことが済んだ後、お前のマスターに癒してもらえ。
Archer points to Saber. The numerous swords point towards Saber. All of those weapons are sure to kill.
かわすのもいいが、その場合、背後の男は諦めろ。
That's quite the ultimatum. And he gives the command. But she probably wouldn't dodge them. She'd probably protect Shiro. The numerous swords are shot. Saber does not move. She confronts them, intending to deflect all the weapons using her sword, even prepared for her own death.
トレース。
What are you doing? I can't think because of my headache. My magic circuit can only handle one more projection. My insides are burned up and almost melted. But such concerns vanished when I saw this world. Before I realize it, I've jumped up, run to Saber, and am glaring at the annoying swords.
シロ、ダメだ、早く。
What is he about to do? I don't care. For now, the oncoming 18 swords. Analysis of all of them cannot be completed with my eyes alone, so my senses run wild and go past the fastest speed, go faster and faster and faster. They approach. Something like a cocking hammer goes down in my head.
ふざけ。
I stick out my left arm. I have no doubts. Hold on. Archer raises his left arm. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, even more similarities. I've copied him so many times. There's nothing wrong with the theory.
てんじゃねえ。てめえ。
There's no way I can't reproduce the rain of swords in front of me. Oh, Jesus! Good lord. Broken pieces fly around. When I open my eyes, his reality marble has disappeared. The only things there are the broken pieces of swords and... a hellish nausea as if my organs have come up to my throat. After glaring at me in disgust, he takes out Tosaka from the cage of swords and restrains her. Tosaka struggles to get away from Archer. What did he do? Archer places his hand on Tosaka's neck and renders her unconscious. Oh my god! And he leaves the temple. With Tosaka in his arms, Archer jumps to the stairs leading up.
どこに行く気です、アーチャー。
これ以上邪魔の入らないところだ。俺は今ので魔力切れだしな。お前に守られた小僧を仕留めるだけの力はない。
He just kidnapped Tosaka?
リンを連れて行くのは人質ですか？
Oh my god.
いや、交換条件だ。これが俺の手元にある限り、そこの小僧は俺を追わざるを得まい。
It's called a hostage. What?
加えて、リンはお前のマスターになった。いかにお前が小僧を守ろうと、マスターの命には変えられまい。
I bear my nausea. I strain my fainting mind and listen to what he has to say.
妨害。
And I say so with a shaking throat, not even able to look up.
何？
だから郊外の森だ。そこに使われていない城がある。あそこなら誰にも迷惑はかからない。
Dang, he gave him like the place to fight. Said time and a place. Meet me.
シロ、
俺に文句があるんだろう。いいぜ、聞いてやる。言いたいことがあるのはこっちだって同じなんだ。
My vision flickers. Even as I speak, I feel sick, as if in another dimension.
郊外の森。そうか。アインツベルンの城があったな。
That it is.
確かに。あの城ならば邪魔は入るまい。ふん。いい覚悟じゃないか、エミヤシロ。
うるさい。そんなことより。
I don't want to hear meaningless things. If I do hear them, I won't be able to hold this nausea in and I might vomit out my organs.
それまで遠坂に手を出してみろ。その時はセイバーの手を借りてでもお前を殺してやる。
I make this oath. I violently scratch my forehead, tearing off the skin in an attempt to silence my headache.
よかろう。場所を指定した見返りだ。一日は安全を保証してやる。だが急げよ。マスターがいない今、俺とて時間がない。この身は2日と持たぬだろう。
Oh my god, man. This route really does not let up.
その前にお前を殺せないとあらば、腹いせに人質を手にかけかねんからな。
Leaving an annoying laugh, Archer disappears. I slump to the floor, unable to keep my eyes on him.
シロ、無茶をして、いくらあなたでもアーチャーと同じ投影をするのは早すぎます。
Yeah, way too early. But, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. What's done is done. An arm comes up and supports me as I start to fall.
ごめんな、セイバー。父さんが取られちまった。
He has no regard for his own life. Bro said he was about to vomit his organs, right? And it's like, I'm sorry he got Tosaka. We know, obviously we have known for a long time he has no regard for his own life, but it keeps becoming more and more glaringly obvious. I suppress my headache and manage to get up.
シロ、それはいいのです。リンは無事だ。アーチャーもリンには手を出さないでしょう。それより、今はあなたの方が危ない。リンのことは私に任せて、シロは家で休息を取るべきです。
Yeah, we definitely need it.
いや、そんな暇は。
You don't have such energy to not do that. I try to finish, but I start to faint. Damn, I can't even complain, huh?
話は後で聞きます。今はあなたを家に連れて帰る。いいですね、シロ。
I don't even get to object. Saber supports me and starts to walk to the stairs. What the heck's about to go down with Archer? Definitely is updating. That's a good point. Ooh, strength. Oh, her stats all went way up. Dang. Her stat. I knew they were worse because of us, but they were down that bad because of us. Tough. We suck. Shiro sucks. But we knew that, so. Oh, I figured they might say none. C- in magic. Okay. Mind's eye. True. Insight fostered by training, a combat logic that allows for calm analysis of the situation and the enemy's ability in spite of danger. In consideration of all possible actions in a particular situation, there's even a 1% chance of a comeback. This ability greatly improves the chance of success. Okay. Interesting. I think we just looked at all his stuff recently. Saber really got a power boost, which makes sense, of course. Oh, we gotta keep going. I'm not tapping out here. The sky is still gray. We leave the now empty church.
お、ことは済んだみたいだな、坊主。
Yeah, we are. Then, I see a familiar spearman in front of me. Saber glares at him while supporting me. She's so tense that she might slash him if he takes another step.
いや、違うんだ、セイバー。あいつは俺たちの手助けをしてくれた。
は？ランサーがシロに協力したというのですか？
Yeah, he probably isn't helping us anymore, but he was a bro. He helped us. Well, he wasn't doing it to be a bro. He was doing it because he saw a chance to eliminate Caster, but...
あ、そうだ。できれば今は戦わないでくれ。
Saber stares at Lancer in astonishment. Seems he's enjoying Saber's reaction.
それはわかりましたが、なぜですランサー？あなたがシロたちに協力するなど何か企みがあるのですか？
あ？なんだ？バカだろお前。んなもんあるに決まってんじゃねえか。裏で企んでなきゃよその手助けなんかするか。
Oh, are you stupid? I mean, I guess it was pretty obvious, but his response is funny. I knew he was that kind of guy, but he's thorough as he's making fun of Saber as well.
何がおかしいのです、シロ。
Oh, he laughed at it. Oh no.
今笑ってたか、俺。
You've made a mistake now, you fool.
ええ、笑っていました。どうやら私の思い違いだったようですね。笑みがこぼれるほど元気があるのなら、この肩を貸すまでもなかったようですが。
Unfortunate. Saber is mad. It's bad, but I'm relieved. Saber's just like before. Our connection is lost, but she's here just like before. Then, what's there to regret?
悪い、気が緩んだみたいだ。今はそんな場合じゃなかったな。
はい。リンを取り戻すにしても、今は休まなければ。ランサー、何が目的かは知らぬが、もはや用は済んだのだろう。ならばされ。私も、今はあなたとは戦わない。
With this, Saber goes down into the clearing.
あ？おい。万事守備よく行ったってわけじゃなさそうだな。何が起きたんだ、ボズ。
It's complicated.
遠坂があーちゃんに連れて行かれた。これから取り戻しに行くだけだ。
Suppressing my dizziness, I meet his gaze and answer him.
何？おい待て。それはどういうことだ？
I'm sorry, but I don't have any energy left. I'm not able to explain such a long story. I should go home and...
アーチャーの目的はシロを殺すことです。そのために私のマスターとなったリンをさらい、交換条件としてシロに一騎打ちを命じました。一日中にアーチャーの元に行かなければ、リンの安全は保証しないそうです。
Yeah, that's the gist of it. Well, it helps me out if you can do the explaining, but it does nothing to explain the situation to Lancer.
やろう。やりやがったな。
Man, he does not like Archer at all. Then, he takes off his friendly face and grits his teeth. And this is after he spared him. Oh, you should have killed him. You should have killed him. Well, okay, we needed him. Okay. I'm glad you didn't kill him, but at the same time, it'd be nice if he was dead right now. Just somehow after he killed Castor. Like, just dropped dead.
ランサー？
つまりあれか。あの野郎、一度ならず二度までお嬢ちゃんを裏切ったってわけか。
Yes.
ええ、そういうことになりますが、それがどうしたと？
Yeah, that's pissing him off.
どうしたじゃねえ。くそ、気が変わった。手助けするのはこれっきりだったがな。もう少し付き合わせろ。このままじゃ寝覚めが悪い。
Dang. Okay. I mean, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Having said this, Lancer starts walking. Saber watches Lancer silently. I understand how she feels. He's saying that he'll come with us.
参った。シロとリンはどんな魔術を使って彼を味方に引き入れたのです。
I guess it's his senses, his sense of pride as a hero, really. And probably, I don't know. Maybe he feels like he had too much faith in Archer, right? Maybe he feels like he should have just killed him. Saber sounds more shocked than amazed. Unfortunately, I don't have the energy to reply, as my wounds are starting to hurt again. No, first of all, I'm the one who wants to ask that question. Yeah. Partially because it's convenient to him, but definitely partially because of his sense of pride as a hero, I think. Interlude. Ooh. Okay. And I recall his dream. The memory of the guy that was set up as a hero. The story of a knight whose end came at a place I can't reach. This hill is his world. This desolate land is what the man who kept on fighting for others obtained. I guess he smiled and died in satisfaction in this place.
バカじゃないの、本気で。
That's right. It just makes me mad. He tried his best, worked hard even though he's an ordinary person, and finally obtained a miracle with his blood. And it'll be a lie unless he becomes happy. If he made many people happy, he should become happier than all of those people combined. But he did not receive such a reward. What he obtained in its place was the fate to be summoned as a guardian after his death. That's right. Why didn't I realize that simple fact? The Guardians are summoned into every age. Doesn't that conversely mean that they are summoned from every age? Summoned from every age? Ooh, okay. From the present and the past. Wait, was my theory dead on? Heroic spirits can even be summoned from the future. Wait, am I right? Did I call this? I mean, if I called it, I called it kind of late, but I feel like I've probably mentioned something like that before, though. Probably not, actually. Definitely thought it before, though. Since Guardians are pushed into a seat, away from the time axis, the concept of time does not exist for them. As soon as one becomes a heroic spirit, they sublimate into something other than what they used to be when they were human. Then, it is possible for a Guardian to be summoned into the place and age they lived in when they were alive. It's vexing when I think about it. It's because neither of them is saved. The one that watches his previous self... Oh my god! No way! The one that watches his eventual self. They will both be hurt by the gulf between them. Are you serious? They actually went that far. They actually went and did that. I know the end of this big idiot who tried to be of help to others. He became a guardian by choice. He thought that it would be great if he could keep saving people even after he died. He could not save people when he was alive because he was powerless, but he believed he could avert every tragedy as a heroic spirit. Thinking so, he made a contract with the world, gave his body after his death, and saved 100 or so people. He believed that he would be able to save more, tens of thousands of people, after his death. But such hope was betrayed. Heroic spirits are summoned only into hell. They appear only when the world is about to be destroyed by people. Humans are beings that will perish from their own doings. So the process of destruction must always be the same. He was summoned only into these hells. In the land of death, where the ones he wanted to save were already dead, he killed even more humans. A boy who stated he just doesn't want to see anyone cry. Could only see crying humans forever. There's only one thing I can say. He has been betrayed by many things, and in the end, he was betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideal. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life. I've withstood pain to create many weapons, yet those hands will never hold anything. Those I pray, unlimited blade works. That is the only spell given to him. What is that? I'm so mad that I want to hit him and scold him. I, Tosaka Ren, have never had any hardships in my life, so I might not have the right to say it, but I believe in working hard and going through pain. It's wrong not to be compensated for your fights. That's why I'm angry at his uncompensated life, and most of all, I can't leave him be because he ended up cursing his life. You're my servant, so I'm only going to do what I believe is right. I'm not as loose as Emiyashiro, but I do have some things I cannot give up. I won't give it up no matter who's telling me so. That's right. That's why I decided that as long as I'm his master, I'll believe in my path like he used to do. That's about all I can show to him. That's the only way I can repay him. It might have been meaningless, but still. I do it so that Archer, the one who lost his own past, can realize that his life was something he can be proud of. Oh my god. What the heck? I cannot believe that. I mean, I can't believe I called it, actually. I actually called it. What the heck? Those similarities were getting too much. I mean, I said, like, this is too much to be a coincidence, right? The first things I notice after I wake up are the sensations in my limbs. They hurt and I can't move them.
縛られてる。
I'm sitting on a chair and slept in a bad position. I don't want to admit it, but this is the worst possible situation. Can't do anything. My hands are behind the chair and restrained by something like handcuffs. It goes the same for my legs, and I can't even stand up. The handcuffs and the shackles are magic resistant, and my magic circuit is so messed up that I can't even create magical energy. Now that I've checked my situation, I survey my surroundings. It's cold. This room made of stone has no heater, and it is a ruin that hasn't been used in a while. It's dark outside the window. From the looks of it, I think it's around 10 o'clock at night.
で、どういうつもりよ、あーちゃん。
I glare into the darkness. By the pillar, the knight in red is sitting on a pile of rubble.
どうもこうもない。お前はエミやシロを釣る餌だ。それは自分でも分かっているだろう。
私がいなくたってシロなら勝手に来るわよ。そんなことあなたならわかるでしょうに。
そうだな。だが、そこにお前がいては都合が悪い。ことが済むまで、目障りな邪魔者にはここでおとなしくしていてもらおう。
Archer says so without appearing in front of me. There's no sign of his previous friendliness. He's a calm cleaner now.
そう。どうあってもシロを殺すっていうのね、あなた。
ああ。あのような甘い男は今のうちに消えた方がいい。
He answers as a matter of course. I can only see the shadowed side of his face from here. His expression is cold, and he looks like he has a mask on. That makes me seriously angry.
シロが甘いってことは言われなくても分かってるけど。
I breathe in. It'll end once I say this. My archer will never return once I say this. I take a breath and glare at the guy in the shadows.
それでも私はあいつの甘いところが愛しいって思う。
Oh, he ain't coming back.
あいつはああでなくちゃいけないって。ああいうやつがいてもいいんだって救われてる。けど、あんたはどうなの？そこまでやっておいて、身勝手な理想論を振りかざすのは間違ってるって思ったわけ？何度も何度も他人のために戦って、何度も何度も裏切られて、何度も何度もつまらない後始末をさせられて、それで人間ってものに愛想が尽きたっていうの？あっちゃん！
Dang. She's really calling him out. I get even more angry as I speak, and I'm screaming it out now. Archer doesn't answer. The face in the shadows is a face I've never seen before. Well, that was a great interlude. Sheesh, man. When I heard this from the man, I believed I could save anyone. I felt resistance. I believed could save anyone. Okay. I read that wrong.
いいかいシロ。正義の味方に救えるのは味方をした人間だけだ。
I didn't like those words either. I didn't want the superhero himself to say these things. Since that time, Hemyashiro's whole life may have been focused on overturning those words. There's no need for sacrifices. Nobody will get hurt if you work hard and do your best. My father should have yearned for that as well. So...
安心した。
I cannot look away from his last moment. Tosaka told me such a life is unnatural. I know. I realized that a long time ago. There's no world where nobody gets hurt. Nor can one seek happiness without hurting others. Such a utopia does not exist anywhere in this world. Miyashiro's search for superheroism is just hypocrisy.
人助けの果てには何もない。
So, I know that without being told.
他人も自分も救えない。偽りのような人生だ。
Yeah. Even if it may be true, I won't let you say it. I don't care if anyone other than him denies it, but I won't let him say it. We have the same beginnings, and even if I may eventually become like him, no. All the more if that is the case. That is why I have to deny him. As he does not approve of the former Miyashiro, I will not approve of him as long as I exist. Even if this dream may be a distorted one. If I have believed in it, and if I'm going to believe in it, I wake up. I look at the clock right away and see it's 11 o'clock right now.
目が覚めましたか、シロ。
Nope. Sitting Japanese style, Saber greets me in a calm voice. It's been half a day since I came home from the church. She must have watched over me ever since I fainted.
ああ、起きた。体も問題ないよ。疲れも取れたし、頭痛も消えた。
Just processing all of this. Jesus, man. I actually went there. I get up from the futon. My limbs are fine now. The magic circuit I overused is still exhausted, but it hasn't burned up.
行くのですか、シロ。
Saber suddenly asks. The answer's obvious, so I silently nod back.
わかりました。では私も同行します。ですがシロ、リンは私のマスターです。彼女を救い出すのは私の役目だ。アーチャーは私が止めますから、シロは。
逆だ、セイバー。アーチャーとは俺がやる。
I interrupt Saber. She looks at me uneasily.
それはダメだ、シロ。アーチャーはあなたの。
She hesitates to finish her sentence.
分かってる。あいつが何者なのかは、多分出会った時から分かってた。
I've opposed him without reason from the first time we met. I stubbornly hated him, thinking that I could not approve of him. It's natural. People can only look away when faced with their own mistakes.
ああけど、だからこそ、あいつがしたことは認めない。あいつとだけは、俺が決着をつけなくちゃいけないんだ。
God dang, man. I stand up. My body feels great. There's only half a day until the deadline. I can't spend any more time resting.
シロ。
こんなことを言える立場じゃないけど、頼む、セイバー。アーチャーとは俺がやる。その時、どうなっても手を出さないでいてほしい。
Like a death wish, man. I bow as I ask Saber.
いいえ。そのようなことをする必要はありません。シロ、あなたがそう望むのなら、私はそれに従いましょう。この身はあなたの盾になると誓ったのです。その行く末を最後まで見届けます。
Her answer is perfect. Her clear voice sweeps away the uneasiness within me.
ありがとう。セイバーが見守ってくれるんなら心強い。
はい。私もあなたがそうであってくれて嬉しい、シロ。
She smiles back. We're prepared for departure now. Do I end it here? This is a bit of a cliffhanger, but I don't want to get into some 2-hour arc. Right? I feel like I should probably just end it here. Feels like this is probably the best place to leave it. Oh my goodness. Not that I want to. I might have to just immediately go back to recording, but... Wow. That reveal. I have to keep going back to make sure I'm not misunderstanding this. Like... Archer is your future. People can only look away when faced with their own mistakes. Like, he had the same beginnings, and if I may eventually become like him, like former Amy Shearer. Like, I'm not misunderstanding this. Like, this is actually happening. Dear God. Wow. They actually went there. I mean, I called it earlier in the episode, even before the reality marble, so I guess I'll give myself props for that. But even so, I didn't call it very early, or like that early. Just kind of called it, I guess. Either way, still happy about that. But wow, they actually went that far. Archer is Shiro pulled from the future after he made a promise to become a heroic spirit because he didn't have the strength to save people, and he wanted to save people and believed he could save even more people as a heroic spirit, but is instead the only thing he had left were his ideals, and he was placed into situations over and over and over where he had to betray those ideals, right? Or, well, where his ideals betrayed him. And eventually it reached the point that it has now, where he can't even stand to see his past self as Archer, you know? Just, wow. Wow. You know, I can't say that this is, for most of the game, I cannot say this is who I anticipated Archer being. I did not anticipate that. Wow. I mean, I think there were a few times where it ran through my head, like, why are they so, like, drawn to each other? They're so similar, right? But then Trace on, right? That just made it way too obvious for me, right? If I, like, any doubts I had before were gone at that point. Because, like I said, I'd had the thought before, but I have, like, so many theories race through my head that like, when I'm playing, most of them are incredibly stupid and baseless, right? So that any evidence, I don't really bother giving most theories, right? But I saw, when he said Trace on, right, to me, it was just, like, so clear. Like, that was the final straw, right? There were too many similarities. And it makes sense. And frankly, it fits perfectly, right? It fits so perfectly that I can't believe I didn't see this sooner, frankly, right? Knowing that, you know, Shiro's path is gonna, you know, it could end like Archer's. Or, you know, Archer, wow, his values and ideals were really similar to Shiro's. And somehow in my head, I was never like, maybe there's a good reason that, you know, they'd be that similar. Or they'd, like, you know, like, Archer's ideals would be that close to Shiro's, or that everyone knows that Shiro could end up like Archer if betrayed by his ideals. Wow. Wow. That's all I have to say. It's wow. Absolutely incredible. And that's just one part of the episode. The fight against Castor is momentous, right? Huge. And I hadn't even mentioned it in, like, my post-episode recap, because we got that absolute tactical nuke of a story drop, right? Good God. So, we'll kind of move on for now. First of all, Lance's fight with Archer was really cool. Really cool. Wait. Did Shiro, or did Archer heal because of the, like, being Saber's sheath, right? The sheath of, Excalibur, or having that? Is that why he healed? Or was it just him being a servant? Right? He healed awfully fast. So, I don't know. But Either way, the fight between Lancer and Archer was awesome, right? With Archer slowly getting overwhelmed, right? And then him summoning, Aya? Something like that. To try to defend against Guy Bolg. And it getting pierced and him losing anyways, right? I mean, that was really cool. And then we had the fight with Caster, and it was back and forth. Like, it looked like we were getting whooped, and then Tosaka pulled out the fists. Right, she was ready to go. She popped Caster, right? But Shiro was down and out, so Kazuki went and almost saved the day. And then Archer comes in, kills Caster himself. Like, amazing fight scene, just completely overshadowed for me by the reveal of Archer's identity. I don't think they updated the status screen, did they? Most likely not. No. Okay. But that was an amazing scene. And then Archer obviously went back to trying to kill us. Which led to Saber becoming, or Rin becoming, or Tosaka. I say Tosaka. Rin is the same person, obviously. I tend to say Tosaka. Led to Tosaka becoming Saber's master, which I did not see coming, right? And then Saber fending him off. And then into his reality marble, right? I believe is what it was called. Where Shiro, he used the barrage of noble phantasms back at Archer's noble phantasms. My god. So it's like Shiro's learning from Archer, which doesn't make sense. Man. What an amazing episode. I could sit here and talk about it or sit here in silence just trying to process everything. But all in all, absolutely amazing episode. I didn't know how they'd match last episode, and then they hit us with this one. Which is another amazing episode. It's just been back to back to back to back to back to back absolute fire episodes. We're at episode 7 or 8 now, and just incredible. Absolutely incredible every episode. So that'll be all for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Next episode should come out soon. Still working on my school stuff, but whenever I can make time, I'm making time for Fate, right? Because it just keeps getting better and better somehow. I'm looking forward to the confrontation with Archer, and whatever they're going to pull to end this route, right? Are we going to kill Archer? Are we somehow going to get him to see the error of his ways, right? What are we going to do about Gilgamesh, right? He's still a problem. And Lancer. I mean, we could probably whoop Lancer with Saber. But, Gilgamesh, he exists. That's a problem. There's still a lot to figure out. And I am very, very excited to figure it all out. I hope you guys are excited to see my reactions to it. Next episode should be out within 2 to 3 days, as always. I hope to see you guys there. Peace.